I find one of the things that I thrive in when speaking to seniors about our services is because the goal is to bring down their anxieties of what hospice is, because it's a scary word.
Hmm.
And instead, I want to increase their confidence in who we are.
Hey guys, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, your reverse mortgage experts, and you found the Serving Senior podcast. Now, that's the podcast where I highlight those businesses and those individuals that are helping seniors not just get by, not just survive, but thrive in retirement. And we have another amazing person that serves seniors. We have Miss Lisa Black, and she's an RN and an account representative for Aveanna Hospice. Now, she's going to share with us about hospice, how it works, and how it helps seniors have better retirements and better golden years. So, Lisa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. I know we don't know each other that well, but I really enjoyed hearing you talk the other day and sharing about hospice. And I could just tell that you're the right person to have on here because you have a heart for serving seniors, making sure that they're comfortable. And love to hear your story and glad to have you on here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Glad to be here.
You're so welcome, Lisa. Well, if you could maybe bring us up to speed, give us a little background, maybe where you're from, what you've done in the past, and then how you got into working with Aveanna and how it all works and how it plays into senior care.
Okay, so I am an RN and I've done all kinds of nursing, but my heart was always in hospice.
Got it.
Started out in going to school for hospice because I watched my grandfather go through it, and I just felt like that's exactly where I was called to be. So seniors, I have a heart for seniors. I get it from my mother, and so I went to school, like I said, specifically to get trained in hospice care.
Got it.
I used to work at another hospice company for a few years and then found out Dr. Sasha Bowers, who is our medical director, she went to Aveanna, and that was a big selling point for me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes. Most of our patients are seniors. However, we do have all age groups. The youngest I've ever served is 20.
Okay.
And of course, the oldest I've ever served is actually 104.
Wow.
So we will serve anywhere in between. But for me, seniors is definitely something I love. The demographics I love, because I feel like a lot of times they are cast aside or just left out simply because they're seniors.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, where'd you grow up? Where's home? And then where do you live?
So I grew up in Columbia. I went to a high school called Santa Fe, which nobody's ever really heard of. If you blink, you miss the town.
Gotcha.
I moved to Murfreesboro in 1996 for college and swore I would never stay. And then now I know I'll never leave.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm in Murfreesboro.
Been in Murfreesboro since college, huh?
Yes. Pretty much.
There you go. Fantastic. Okay, that's perfect. And then what all areas do you serve? Where all do you work in Tennessee?
So my particular territory is Williamson County, Murray County, and then I have the city of Smyrna.
City of Smyrna.
Smyrna, Laverne, but I don't have all of Rutherford County. So that's why I make that distinction. But our company, Aveanna, serves multiple areas, all of Middle Tennessee. We have offices in Springfield, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, and then of course in Franklin.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, it sounds like you focus on the senior world. Maybe if you could do two things. One is share with us what some of your superpowers are that helps you serve seniors at a high level. And then also please break down some of the stereotypes that maybe aren't accurate about hospice.
Sure. I find one of the things that I thrive in when speaking to seniors about our services is because the goal is to bring down their anxieties of what hospice is, because it's a scary word. And instead, I want to increase their confidence in who we are. We are a different philosophy of care, is all I say. Once you come to the end of wanting to seek aggressive treatment for a terminal illness that you may have, and you want to go down the road of comfort, that's where we step in. Our medical director says it best that all hospice patients are palliative as well, but not all palliative are hospice. So there is a big distinction there. And there are some guidelines that we have to look at to see if you're even eligible for hospice. But we would rather you be with us longer than just wait till you come in, till you ask us to come in the last couple of days or weeks.
Okay. Makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
sense. And then tell me what what are your qualities that allows you to excel in this field?
Well, I think for me, I became a nurse later. This is actually my second degree. And I think being a little bit older really serves me well because I have patience with not only the patients that we have, but also the families.
Mhm.
And then being able to just kind of look at everyone, I go in for me and treat them as if they were my family members.
Wow.
And so, with that being said, we go into lots of environments, facilities, and in homes. Some homes we go into that the general public wouldn't be able to handle, but you have to have the mindset of we have to meet everyone where they are. And that's the mindset for me that I've always been able to serve others by keeping that in mind.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It's almost remembering what happened to you in the past with your family and kind of putting yourself in their shoes, huh?
For sure, for sure. If I walk in and there's a lady laying there, I'm going to look at her as if she's my grandmother or my mother. Because one of these days, who knows what I will need, services I will need, and I want someone to treat me well. So I need to treat others well.
Great point. I guess, and then maybe share with us what your role is in the hospice process. Where do you come in? And then what type of situations should people reach out to you about?
Okay. So I originally was a case manager. I would handle 18 to 19 patients was my load. Then I moved into the admissions nurse position because I felt like there was a big piece of the education missing, and people were very anxious. And then nursing is not very healthy on the body. So I was looking to leave bedside a little bit, but then also still allow that time to give the education. So that's what made me move into the account executive position,
Okay.
otherwise known as clinical liaison. So I work with facilities, doctors, hospitals, and when they are ready to send us a referral, I'm the very first point of contact.
Okay. Got it. So they'd reach out to you and then you analyze the situation and see if they're a good candidate.
Correct. I'm able to talk to the family, talk to the patient if needed, talk to the resident if they're at a facility, find out kind of what their needs are. If I feel like they are appropriate, then I ask for the necessary paperwork and then I start sending it to our intake team and I get everything set up for admission.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds good. That makes sense. Now, Lisa, maybe you could share with people what are the common, misconceptions? What are some things that people run across where about hospice? Maybe those things that cause people to get real nervous, and how could you dispel some of those issues?
So, hospice in and of itself is always scary. So, a lot of times people think hospice is one, you're either giving up on yourself or your family, or two, oh my gosh, I'm dying tomorrow. So, the thing that I say is, we have had patients for minutes. I've literally lost patients in the admission process, but we've also had patients for years. So, I always talk about the word, and that's why I say it's just a different philosophy of care. To have our services, you do have to have a terminal illness that, if it took its natural course, would likely take you 6 months or less. That
Okay.
is just a guideline that insurance has us go by. However, we don't always hit that. We've had patients for 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay. Makes sense. So it just
Yes.
sounds like it's just a way, it's just a different, like you said it so eloquently, a different philosophy of care.
Yes.
Okay.
You are just not wanting to, let's use cancer, for example, lung cancer patients. They get really tired of chemo and radiation, and they come to one, I don't want surgery or any more of those treatments. I just want to be comfortable.
Mhm.
So when you reach that, or the doctor says, there's nothing else I can do for you, then you come to us. And then we're with you for the duration of the disease process, however long that is. And again, we prefer to have you on the front end earlier than later, because not one person has ever said, I wish that I wouldn't have called you. Every time we hear, I wish I would have called you earlier.
Mm, wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good message to share to your patients coming in the future, right?
Yes, yes, because I feel like it's so scary. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get into this position, because the education needs to be put out there. Hospice is very underutilized, and people are suffering at home and always headed to the hospital. And we are a different way that you can be at home, enjoy your time. We still have patients that travel to the beach. We even contact hospice companies that we partner with outside of the state. That way, if you're at the beach and you need someone, we can get someone to you. So there's
Wow.
lots of benefits to it.
That's great.
Mhm.
Lisa, maybe you could share with us some examples of people that you met were in a really difficult situation. They weren't getting the type of care they needed. They brought you guys in, and then how it improved their situation. And most importantly, it sounds like improved their comfort with their situation.
Yes.
An example like
So
that.
yes, a couple of our patients, the caregiving is very, very difficult. People don't realize how hard caregivers work.
Mm,
It's a draining job. And so one of the things that we offer is we have social workers, and they work really well with getting other resources in, added care that the families wouldn't have had if we hadn't have come in. The other thing is pain control, even looking at depression, looking at anxiety. Our doctor handles all of that, because when you're given a certain diagnosis, there are some mental feelings, emotions that
mhm.
can come along with that. That's very scary. And we're in there to handhold and walk with you through the whole process. And so we've walked into situations, we've walked into a couple situations where the family they have neglected the patient. I walked into a situation to where this person, it was not a livable situation. Our
Wow.
entire team worked hard and got them transferred into a facility where they were taken care of really well. And plus, we came into that facility, and then he had great quality of life that would not have happened otherwise.
Mm, that's perfect. So
Mhm.
it sounds like it's all about increasing the comfort and then
Yes,
increasing that quality of life. Because especially we all say we don't know how many days we have left, and I mean
right.
that's very very important to this people that you guys are serving. We don't know how many days they have left, so there's no reason to lay there in pain and suffering.
Right. Right. And we don't want you a lot of our patients are bed bound, but a lot of them are not. And we always say we can't give anyone quantity. Our goal is quality. And
Mhm.
that's what we do. And that's what we're proud of. And
Mm.
our medical director, again, Dr. Bowers, she does not treat hospice patients under an umbrella of one diagnosis. She treats each one individually, and she meets them where they are. And I'm very proud to work under her. Over the years as a nurse, we can lose some respect for physicians over the years of things that we see. And working with her for years, I just gained respect.
Mm. Wow, that's awesome. Sounds like a great person to work with.
She is. She really is.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Lisa, when you run across these patients, sounds like you guys offer some great services, great things for them. Do you have any other resources that you recommend, people check out when they come your way, or research people to do?
Yes. So we do work with some other companies. One would be like Touching Hearts, companies like that. They offer like the durable medical equipment,
Okay.
getting it maybe in the home that otherwise they wouldn't have. We also work very closely with Iris Medical Group. They are a
Yeah.
palliative group, because we don't have palliative, but we help to bridge that.
Got it.
And so we are in partnership with multiple companies that these patients wouldn't have access to otherwise.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Now, can you tell us, as far as your service area, what areas you serve, and then maybe if you don't serve them, where you have partners that serve all over Middle Tennessee, all over Tennessee?
Yes.
Is that
So Aveanna, I know that we're all the way into Shelbyville, Lewisburg.
okay?
We'll go all the way up into Nashville, Hendersonville, Springfield. We have offices all over. Um, I know that we even go out to Dixon and I mean, we go out.
Okay.
If there's a referral that we get and it's out of our service area, we do our best to recommend a hospice company that we know would serve them well. And that would just depend on what area they are in.
Okay.
We
Makes
don't
sense.
just drop them and say, "Oh, I can't help you."
Sure. No, that makes sense. And then how would people, if they have a question for you, how's the best way for people to connect with you, Lisa?
So my actual phone number, my business phone number is on my card, and it
Okay.
is 615-785-0671. And
Okay.
my email is lisa.black@aveanna.com. And I'm happy to help anybody that I can.
Okay, fantastic. And then who is someone's watching this, maybe they don't need your services, but they do cross paths with other people in the senior world. I guess, what are great referrals for you? I guess, what type of businesses in the senior field have you found are good connectors with you that we should share this podcast with?
So any facilities that are assisted living, memory
Okay.
care units, we actually even have a couple of patients that are on independent living because they're able to have caregivers in the home full
Okay.
time
Okay.
aside from hospice care. Any home health company and palliative care companies are good referral sources for us. And quite honestly, a lot of our cardiologists, pulmonologists, nephrologists, any of those that see end stage disease processes, oncology, all of those are really big referral sources for us as well.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Was there
Mhm.
anything that I didn't ask you that I should have asked you? Anything
I
else
don't
you want
think
to
so.
share?
I feel like you covered this really well, and I appreciate you allowing me to get the education piece out there. And that's the biggest thing for me is just to pull down any anxiety and raise the confidence because I want people to know who we are and what we do and how we can serve people.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. And I think it sounds like we have a similar mission because you're trying to retrain people's mind on what you do and how you serve. And you're trying to serve, but you have to educate first before you can help
Yes.
them. Right.
Yes.
And kind of sounds like the same way with us. People, their mind has been trained that when you owe money on a house, you pay every month and you pay it down and it goes down and it goes down and you pay it off. Right. Unfortunately, a lot of people have more equity and home equity than they have cash, or at least liquid cash. So that's what we're doing, is just retraining to show them that your house is a place you live, but is also an asset that you can use to pay for
Right.
great services like yours or senior care or in-home care. So it's all a retraining on, hey, you may have thought you know what hospice is, but you may
Correct.
not really. You may know what a reverse mortgage is, but it's changed, and you may not. It may be worth exploring because you may be missing out on something that could benefit. So I
Yes.
think it sounds like we do this. We say the same thing just for a different product on a daily.
That's right. That's good.
Yes, ma'am. That's awesome. Well, so glad for you to be here. So glad to make the connection, and super excited to share your message.
Yes. Thank you so much, Matt, for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
You're so welcome. And thank you for watching the Serving Senior podcast, where we highlight those businesses and those individuals like Lisa that help seniors thrive in retirement. So thanks again. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Lisa, bye-bye. Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of retirement mortgage solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniourspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow, maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like, our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, and depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want as long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position, there could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.